Strange and unbelievable facts about Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was actually born Michael King Jr. His father, inspired by the Protestant reformer Martin Luther, changed both his and his son's names after a trip to Germany in 1934. King skipped 2 grades in high school and entered Morehouse College at just 15 years old. He graduated with a degree in sociology by the age of 19. In 1964, at 35 years old, Martin Luther King Jr. became the youngest person to ever win the Nobel Peace Prize at the time, an honor for his leadership in the civil rights movement. King was accused of plagiarizing parts of his doctoral dissertation at Boston University, though the university decided not to revoke his degree posthumously, citing that his civil rights work far outweighed the charges. The FBI kept a secret file on King, labeling him as a radical and a threat. They sent him an anonymous letter attempting to blackmail him into committing suicide by threatening to expose alleged extramarital affairs. Surprisingly, when it came to establishing Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a national holiday, there was considerable opposition. It took until 1983 for the holiday to be signed into law, and not all states recognized it until 2000. In 1958, King was stabbed by a woman while signing copies of his book in Harlem. The knife was so close to his aorta that doctors said if he had sneezed, he would have died. He referenced this incident in his famous, "I've been to the mountaintop" speech. King was arrested 29 times throughout his activism, mostly for acts of civil disobedience and minor charges like speeding. His willingness to endure arrest symbolized his commitment to non-violent protest. King had a strong premonition of his death. He often told friends and family that he didn't expect to live to old age, even writing a will in his early 30s. He famously referenced this in his final speech the night before his assassination. King was planning a poor people's campaign at the time of his assassination, aiming to focus on economic justice for impoverished Americans, regardless of race. He was preparing to lead a march on Washington to demand better wages and living conditions. Despite his fame, King earned only $8,000 a year as a preacher, much of which he donated back to the civil rights movement. He even donated his Nobel Peace Prize money, $54,123, to the movement. In 1971, King was awarded a Grammy posthumously for Best Spoken Word Recording for his 1967 speech, "Why I Oppose the War in Vietnam," making him one of the few civil rights leaders to receive such an honor.